Welcome to Planet Pert, where you could get in free, but you gotta be a G. And like a Newport short in a Louisiana parish jail, I ain't got no filter.
Of course, what I know my man Pert really love and what he want to get into is his little music side. So
Yeah,
let's go ahead and switch this. We'll switch gears. You know, we're gonna hit the brakes on sports, and we can continue that next week. But let's go ahead and switch gears to this music industry because that's his heart, that's his soul. We all know.
Yeah,
So first, what I want to hear him speak on, because we all know he gonna rant, and we all know he gonna go off.
Okay.
So let's go ahead and talk about Chance, man.
Okay.
What's going down?
What I want to talk about is the recent interview Chance did with, and we want to talk about independence. Really, is what I want to talk about as an artist. How important independence is. Do you really need a label backing you nowadays to be successful? 'Cause we hit on that last week. To where in our generation it was all about you had to have a street team, you had to have a promo.
Man, we were volunteering for the street team.
Man, I've done so many free shows, man.
Yeah.
I swear to God, I was getting pimped. Like,
Houston,
you know, and RP Wicked Cricket, man, because I've done a lot of good shows. He was actually one of the pioneers when it came down to I think everybody in Houston that had anything to do with music before his passing understands the imprint that he left on the game.
Absolutely.
But like that was plenty of shows where I paid 10 to do a song or 15 to do a song. Like where we paid money to try to put towards this. So like the importance of independence nowadays, man.
I don't think people remember that.
Now based on your point, which I completely agree. Did you see the video Slim Thug had posted?
No, I didn't. I missed that one because I wish we could play it because I hate So, I mean, we could punch it in, but
but he was I guess in so many words he was talking to the younger generation, which I think I guess you're addressing, and he was saying people were asking him why you don't sign no new person, why you don't bring nobody on, and he was saying like, dude, like I came up from the era of not getting signed. I'm underground. I got my bread underground. Y'all need to start working and stop looking to people to get signed and stuff like that. So I'm saying,
I don't think people know.
But I guess of course, like he got, some people feel one way, some people feel the other. So I'm like, I definitely kind of see where you two agree.
I can counterpunch that where you don't really need anybody to sign you on nowadays because you got to look at our what our SoundCloud was, what our YouTube was in Houston. Screw tape, right? Screw tape, right?
Yeah, that's the
I know, but am I going over your head when I say a screw tape was like that was our central source of information in music? So you don't need it at that.
Yeah, I would say mixtapes.
There was
like DJs mixtapes.
There was no way I would have ever heard a lot of East Coast dudes, a lot of West Coast dudes, a lot of down south dudes.
What I'm saying is facts, but other people than Screw had out mixtapes that also brought different types of music.
I'm talking. I was generalizing. I was generalizing to Houston.
Screw. So there's no arguing his imprint.
So what I'm talking is independence as an artist. Do you really need people outside of that? So you can upload your music to Spotify for free now. If you didn't know, Spotify, hey, we want you to sponsor.
Save that for the tech segment.
Hey, you are tuned in to Spotify.
This is what I'm over saying about.
But seriously though,
I think that we fell as old as, I guess you would call us, or the old school, right?
I'm learning the ways though.
No, because it's different, right? Because like the kids, and we were talking about this last time, like the kids can upload directly now.
True.
Like if there was an upload button on Apple Music back in the day, I would have already flooded it by now.
Because it's direct to consumer, right?
Yeah, but it's like now you don't even have to. Man, back in the day, in order to get a CD, you had to have a computer that had a burner on it.
Yes.
Right? And if you had I had the light scribe on it.
I did have the light scribe.
On it, man.
Hey, shout out to light scribe.
Shout out. But it's like people never ever told me how alright, so like when I started out in my rock and roll, right? Especially as a black man back in the Hootie and the Blowfish days.
Right.
One, they asked me, "Oh, were you trying to be Hootie?" No. Man. Like it was a good album, but it's cool. Yeah. I can't sing like them, right? Like I could never sing like them.
Right.
But nobody ever told me that you have to do the open mics so that you can get the crowd.
Yes.
So that you can go over to a club.
Yes.
and the club will ask you, all right, what night do you want?
Well, that's just work.
And then you go Wednesday, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so like
and nobody's there on Wednesday.
Nobody's trying to come out on Wednesday. You come out Thursday, Friday, Saturday, right?
We brought crowds.
Then you bring your you make your crowd, right? No one's coming on Wednesday, but that
you got to do that grounds route. But you got to do that while asking people to invest in you, because you're over like, man, let me get that $3 for that CD.
But then people start using.
Now let me ask you this, because then you kind of start contradicting yourself correctly, because at first you were saying that it's so easy to upload, but then now you're saying, well, people need to go for the grind again. Well, if you have technology so high, then there's no point of trying to go on the grind like you want. Now, second, what I wanted to ask you was your whole point about about the grind.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, let's think about what they see. Do they actually see the grind? Like when they're looking at these YouTube videos of other artists that are inspiring, they never see the grind. So no one ever falls in love with the grind part. Right. They always fall in love with the finished product.
Right.
So when you're saying, well, they just want to get signed, well, because they saw that actual biggest rapper got signed, and then he got some money and then started learning and then came down and understood. But when they first saw him, the image of the big name rapper, it was when he was signed. But so it's like, that's why, I'm asking, do you feel like these younger artists, when they're looking up at the successfulness, are they looking to get signed because that's what
there's more people who are willing to tell you now how to do things. Like I just realized recently that the brown paper bag was the strip club money, because it was cash, non-taxable. That's what the real bag is, and I didn't know that like this whole time when they were talking about the bag, I was thinking, oh, like Monopoly. Like, like money bag. Oh, that's cool.
Oh, no.
But no, they were talking about
that's
the brown
not
paper
the
bag.
same.
Yeah, man.
What are you talking about, old school or new school music? Because the brown paper bag was drug money.
I mean, that's what I was saying.
Well, pretty much all it is the same thing, the same concept, right? Untaxable. You just under the table,
right?
Cash.
I still put drug monies in strippers' booty.
Well, that's how you
crack money down the crack. Never hurt anybody.
Or go to the casino like they did when they bailed Trump out, right? Take all your money to one of his casinos, cash it in chips, and walk out with the chips, and never even gamble.
So how did I not learn some things?
So here's wash up some stuff. Here's where I think the and we'll roll off of it. But here's where I think the two roads meet at independent and being on a label, right? So either you could spend the money up front and be independent, and not have to endure the shows and putting money into the studio and doing the things that we had to do in order to get noticed, right?
All right.
Or you could jump to the label, deduct that money because you're not going to be getting it because the label's going to be taking that money from you nowadays. So then you get the instant fame and gratification based upon connections, getting to open up for a Snoop Dogg at South by Southwest in our day, or you could say NBA YoungBoy, somebody now, one of these younger guys, to where you're getting the instant gratification. So not saying that you wasn't rapping for 5 years before you blew the fuck up, or rapping for a while before you blew up. Some people get the Soulja Boy effect, man. They drop one song, they do a YouTube video, and they're the guy, right? And people think that everybody can come up like that. Soulja Boy was a guy, he single-handedly destroyed hip-hop, I believe, Ice-T, when he said that.
Next time.
Okay. All right, let's talk about that.
But I also want to add before then, like, I think he was
I'm coming back to that, though.
Yeah, we can, but I also think the factor of the dance. Because let's be honest, like what other dance that he had actually little kids doing, regardless if they care about these songs. That's what I'm
talking about. He changed the game with the dance, with the bullshit lyrics, with the dance. Now think about every bullshit song.
I think you're wrong. I think you're wrong. Yeah. I think he was the young.
It's been 10 years running.
No, I think that he was the new MC Hammer. I said it, MC Hammer. He's MC Hammer Part 2, just not as thuggish.
MC Hammer actually had a couple hits.
Hammer was a thug.
He did have.
But how can you say Soulja Boy didn't have a couple of hits when you're actually talking about him now? If he was truly one hit wonder, he wouldn't even be a.
I actually like 3 songs.
No, I'm not saying you don't like it. Who cares? What I'm saying is, just like you, what are you saying? When you like you compared to MC Hammer, it's like he actually had a couple of records.
Typewriter.
Me too. But I wouldn't take Hammer out the game. If I could Marty McFly jump into Jump into the time machine and go back. I'm taking Soulja Boy out.
Can I tell you something about
All right. Can I ask
All
a question? Because I want
I got one quick question.
Come on, man. See, y'all turn it into another 2-hour cast.
No,
All right,
I'm trying to give you one quick question for content purposes.
Another 12 minutes. Come on.
Nobody ever talks about the real secret ingredient in all of the music business. It's not the talent. It's not because you can buy that. You can buy that.
What?
Or the talent can be forced on the crowd, right? I feel like somebody can suck, and the fact that the radio plays it so much, you can
I told you last week, it's time.
Put with your name on it.
I told you last week, it's time. We're talking about the same thing.
I don't think it is.
It is about timing.
Can I tell you what it is?
What is it, Trey?
Money. All right. So as somebody who did it broke, right? Because we did it broke, right? Isn't it much easier when you can buy every mic, when you can have every sample, when that package?
When you have a whole.
So you're talking about pretty much resources.
Because back
the reason being is how many fucking failed rappers that came out that had the money behind them that never fucking popped.
Ooh.
Fuck the money. The money has nothing to do with the timing.
Children,
Titty Boy, Duffel Bag Boy.
The kids of rappers, right?
Thank you.
The kids of rappers on that.
BBD.
So Titty Boy is just
Aisha, nigga.
But 2 Chainz was trying to. 2 Chainz
we know what it is. We know
nigga, they never.
2 Chainz did the needful and changed up his sound.
He go back and listen to fucking Duffel Bag Boys. He was still rapping like Titty Boy on it. He's still rapping like 2 Chainz on that. So it was about the timing, bro. He was ahead of his fucking time, and then he came out later, and he was the nigga, bro.
He had that YMCMB.
It's about timing.
Hey, you know what? The reason why, and this is the question I want to ask you because you did speak a good point about timing. When I had watched the T.I. interview on the Breakfast Club, and what did he say about Drake? He had the opportunity to pass up to sign Drake, but at that time, it wasn't Drake who he is, and he didn't think that type of music would even pop, but it actually did.
About the money,
and those no's made the yes happen.
Do you feel like that was what Young Money or who? Not Young Money. What's the name?
It's
your boy?
Ludacris.
No. I'm saying the question is that why he did get signed by whoever, Jay Prince or whatever, right? He's the one who got. What I'm saying is, do you think that was the reason? I do think that type of whatever. But I'm saying is that the reason why he did is like, okay, I do see that type of style popping off later on versus T.I. saying now.
According to the book, he saw it later. But I say here's the reason why it's the money, right? Back in the day. Because it's the music industry. The music industry, they control it all the time. Whether it's the vinyl, they'll control the vinyl industry to where they're the only pressers, whether they're the only distributors, whether it's all, right? The reason why Master P changed the game, right?
Okay.
Let's take it over to P because I really
talked about that last week with Game Changers, but go ahead.
He is, right? And
I'm
the
just
reason
updating
why
the people.
is because he had enough money to where he could do what Chance did, which was pay everybody up front to where when he was over like, man, I already own everything.
Right.
Like, y'all, I don't want you to help me with a tour. I don't want to help you. Like, you don't even have to help me out with marketing. But if you want to do that, I'll give it to you for 2 weeks so that you can distribute it on the net.
Right, 15%.
And he did. And so he still say independent. And so that's where I say the difference between like, all of these new rappers is that it is easier, but it's still the same thing, man. Like you either gotta push it on Facebook at $15 every 200 shares, or you gotta put it on SoundCloud. Like everybody's trying to give them their cut, and like unless like if you're really truly doing it and you're not on the corner or you're not raising that capital, and you're like 16, 17 years old, like what they doing, man? Working over at Chuck E. Cheese.
So what about these viral people? Like those who go viral and then capitalize.
Why they went timing?
Because there's true. I'm saying like they didn't have money. Like I don't think Justin Bieber was rich when he got started, right?
No,
he was on a guitar on the steps, and then Ellen saw him, and then he blew up from that.
The only reason I tell you,
I didn't say he couldn't. But what I'm saying is,
it's
not like he had to pay.
I watch niggas who spit like Nas. They ain't nobody. Because they came out at the wrong time, bro.
And I think that
they don't have the right timing behind them because
like
there's.
Thank you. I'm about to say.
I'm talking not sounding like? I'm
No,
talking
like I'm hearing you.
on a lyrical level, right? Khalid Talib. Talk to me about that. Why? Okay, so no matter how much money they put behind this man, he's not on the level of those
nobody's
guys.
trying to listen.
Right.
If you don't have the hook, man,
talent
like,
plays a part.
You're talking to me, man. I write verses all day, but when it comes to the chorus, I don't know. You ask me the title of the song, I don't know.
So he's a great lyricist, but he doesn't make that. I want to talk about that.
Is it safe to say that there's more than one reason?
We can go on.
Right? Is it safe to say it's not just money? It's not just this. It's a little bit of everything. It's just yes or no. Is it safe to say that it's both?
I'll give you.
It's a lot of different factors, right?
I'll give you a yes. And I do want to continue because I'm not gonna admit shit. You're never wrong. I'm always right. I'm a fucking Gemini. I'm always right.
Yeah.
And when I'm wrong, I'm still right.
Speaking of Gemini, we're gonna come up on a new. Speaking of Gemini, let's go ahead and transition to this Pac albums. Let's go. What's happening?
And we'll keep it short, man.
What's up with the Pac album? Huh?
He is a Gemini, wasn't
he? Yeah, he was a Gemini. So who's excited? Who's excited? 2 albums, 2 unreleased, unheard albums.
Which part of Pac? All of Pac?
It's had to be Machiavelli's phase after jail.
Who's getting the money?
The estate, because his mom's passed away and she gave all the rights. They've been fighting for this for a while
now.
So
it's going to the kids?
What kids? Pac have no kids.
Pac ain't have no kids?
No.
That dude's fucking.
He's a fucking ghost, man. That's why it says it goes
to the estate.
That's to the estate, which his mom gave over to some fucking white man.
Okay.
Like, like some.
Like no Drake kids?
None of that. Nothing. Just Pac. Just Pac. That's what make. I think that's what make. Even if you look at like XXXTentacion, like he has kids and like because they try to say he's the new day Pac. I'm like, no, because Pac is like Big had kids.
Who said he was the new Pac?
The kids tell me this, man. See, we're old.
Okay.
I know.
But anyway.
But are you excited? We'll get into him next. We'll
All
get into him next.
Are you excited? Excited about Pac's albums? Not necessarily, and not even no political stuff. Not necessarily, no. And this is why. I'm interested into what he had to say that we don't know, right? Like, okay. So it's like, you know what I mean? Is that factor of, it's not like Pac released new albums. It's really his old music that we haven't heard before. So it's like, okay, well, I do want to hear more of his thoughts, his whatever.
Okay.
But am I expecting like some jams that we're gonna no?
But Pac's not in your top 5, so
well, it's not even about any top 5. You're looking at the genre of music right now that's popping. You're not going to have
my opinion.
Go. You know, it's not.
Pac will always be one of the most talented.
Look at the older guys that's releasing albums now.
To me, Pac will always be the most talented to ever put a pen on a piece of paper. He was not my top 5 either, though.
You cocksuckers.
No, but the thing is, he's one of the most talented. I just couldn't get into I can get into his music, but he wasn't a daily listen. You know what I'm saying? I just couldn't listen. I could not listen to Pac.
People don't. Man, bro, you can't.
Like I was more of a Biggie fan.
Going through therapy every single time you listen to a track. Right. Man. He knows it's the truth, man. That's the reason why you love Pac so much.
And that's why he hates Kanye.
I was more of a Biggie and Nas fan than the Tupac. That's
right.
just
I mean, some people prefer lyrics versus motivational speaking.
I'm not saying Biggie was more talented than Tupac.
Yeah.
No, just like which one are you gonna put?
Some people still do though. Some people still do feel that Biggie was more talented.
I think Biggie was of course a better freestyler, of course.
Yeah, some people.
Than Pac, yeah, for sure. But Pac was a much better lyricist though.
Have you ever heard
penmanship versus just bars?
Yeah.
All right, no, because I'm not even going to say who.
But isn't that two different types of crowds?
It's two different crowds.
It's like what you expect. Just like we had the boxing thing. You either like this or you like this.
It's only one hip hop.
Okay, but it's rap though. So what do you want rap instead of hip hop?
All right,
okay, Trey's turn, and this is coming. So
Trey's turn?
I want him to dissect it. I want him to go in. Go ahead.
No. I'm going last because for two people that likes the Eminem show over Marshall Mathers, y'all on the same wave.
What they got to do with anything?
Y'all on the same wave.
We're on
because
extremely
Pac's
different
not
waves.
in your top 5.
Just because we had one of the same opinion on 2 albums or whatever.
We're gonna do a top 5 show one day.
Okay.
Fine, but I mean everyone's top 5 is different. Why do you expect
everyone
to have
my top 5 of talent, but not my top 5 of listen?
Why do you expect everybody?
But I gave you that
always
for M.
want
That's the
Pac?
payback. The white boys paying me back for the Eminem.
Well, it's like this.
Bro, why are you so okay? Why don't we let him
I'm getting the
explain
payback.
his infatuation with
getting the
Pac,
payback.
and why you think everybody has to love
It's like
Pac,
Jimmy-
and if you don't have Pac in your top
Jimmy
10,
hit-
then
Okay,
you're
all right.
That's a
All
top
right, Trey.
player.
I'm gonna let you go, Trey.
I can't listen to
Let me tell y'all why.
Take it out.
Let me tell y'all
Thank
why.
you.
Because it's Tupac, God, then family.
What about LeBron James?
No, he don't come before Pac. It's Tupac, it's God, then his family.
I would think the way you hate Kanye, he was once up there too.
Man.
Because you have some strong.
No.
The hate that you have for Kanye matches the love.
I'll
that you
play
have
my
for
old
Pac.
freestyles that I made on
what
Kanye
song?
West beats.
What
You know
song?
what made me. You know what made me. Okay, I'm gonna let you have it. You know
are
what
you
fucking.
putting on Tupac just on random? What song are you putting on Tupac?
Made nigga, troublesome. Fuck all y'all. I don't like the ones that you like. I like the
You don't
money
even know
gone
which ones
fuck
I
friends.
like.
I need a homie that know me with all
Like,
these
I was about to
motherfucking
say,
cops
I'm
be
gonna
on me.
just
I
make
got
some
problems,
quick
but ain't
Pac,
nobody
son.
calling back. Like, what the fuck is happening with my
telling me
Shout out
ball
to my boy
again?
B
Say,
Jones.
I'm
I definitely
gonna
gotta have my boy B Jones on here because
Come on, bro. Like, those
no,
are the-
he would agree definitely with you. But I do want to understand, why do Pac fans feel like he has to be like if he's not in your top 5, you're just you off, and we're all right. Like,
'Cause y'all
why
not
can't
black,
someone
man.
like someone
I'm taking your
else?
black
Which
card
one
away.
did you think I was gonna say? Like changes.
Dear mama,
That's what I'm
you're gonna
saying.
go
Like,
to the
he's so
generics.
defensive. Like
You're gonna go to the
what is
generics.
his love for Pac?
If you
You're
really
gonna go
want
to
to know,
the
all right.
Ballad of a Dead Soldier.
No, if you really want to know, like if I had to put on one track that like I still don't even under this Hail Mary and it has to be Screwed, and it's only just because like that shit sounded dark, man. Like it sounded like a prayer, and it like when it
What
was
term
screwed
is-
and chopped, it was kind of like choir bells, man. Like I heard like I want to put something on top of that.
The reason.
But anyway, here comes with Pac, right? Which Pac are we gonna get? Because like we're gonna get Pac at the
We had
end
a
of
lot of
life,
different
Pac.
ones.
Like,
But
are
I
we gonna
like
Or
get
this
Mad
might be a
Tupac.
Pac that we've
Win?
never heard of. That's why I say I'm extremely interested in the release
I
because
like
it could
Mad
possibly
Tupac.
be an entirely
Is it
different
gonna be
version.
like who's picking the song?
You understand
Is it
Pac
Pac
went
in
from
Cuba?
woke Tupac, right? From
Is it Pac in Cuba? Who's picking out the track list?
I don't
But
know.
look, as an
that's
artist-
that's the thing too. If you have the vocals and you put the right producers behind it, because the one that Eminem produced, what
So
album
you
was
really,
that? That
you
Pac
really
album.
think they're gonna
that-
go with the whole?
Y'all remember the Pac album that M did a bunch
Yeah,
of tracks
no, that
for?
was correct. That was correct.
All right.
I didn't even know about that one.
See, trash.
Wow.
And this
it
is
did have Biggie and it had
the
Tupac
beats
on it.
were trash.
He paid all the money. Props to Eminem for paying all the money for all the samples and everything because he
The
really
beats were
did
trash.
get the Biggie and he got the Tupac on one track.
The beats
That
were
doesn't
trash,
ever
but the
happen.
beats were trash though. The beats were.
Well, he was making them because he paid a lot of money. But are they going to have like different producers on this?
Well, that's my whole point. I don't know that yet. That's why I'm excited because
But this is the thing, though, and I want
if
to
you
add
get like
this.
DJ Quick and you go back to the original Dre and get the original Pac sound,
Swiss Beats?
then we're talking something different. I don't want to hear I don't want to hear like
No
mustard,
DMX?
mustard and Pac. I don't
Because
want to hear that.
and the reason why I want
I
to
don't wanna hear that.
ask you that based on what he was saying, like which Pac is going, because as someone who's not an artist, right, and then I get a chance to actually manage an artist and actually see what behind the scenes that most people do. Y'all can both agree that regardless of what songs they put on, they can be songs way before
Artists are
before
weird, man.
whenever, and he could have just had a song for 4 years that nobody ever knew about, or you know what I'm saying. I'm pretty sure you
Yeah.
got songs that you haven't released that's just
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. So who knows?
Too
Like you said, who knows?
So it's like the lost tapes.
This could be a
I actually did like that.
this
too,
could be
the
a
Nas
version
Lost
of Pac that we haven't even seen yet.
You want to know what's
That's
weird?
why I'm really interested to see his album. So all right, what is he
I
gonna say?
don't.
Is it gonna be
I just
something
don't
that
get how
he-
people are
you
not
know?
fans of Pac.
Well, like,
that
here's
still
the
hurts
weird
my
thing
feelings.
about
It's not about fans of Pac. It's about we just don't think his music is top 5 music.
Oh no! Strike yourself. Strike yourself. Strike yourself with.
Come on,
either
Toss
one.
It Up was a good track.
All right, let me tell you something. This
We're
is
talking
weird.
about
This
top.
is-
We're
I
not.
wanna
What
hear
I'm
your
saying is
top
different.
five,
It's
man.
different
No,
between
you
liking
You know
a
my
man.
top 5.
It's different
no,
between
no,
being
don't
a.
attempt-
It's
don't
different
tell me.
between being a fan of Pac
Don't
himself
tell me.
and saying, okay, I compare this album or
I
this
wanna hear your
music
top
versus
5,
that
man.
music.
We gotta do that next
Now,
week.
can I
We
get, can I
got-
get a,
you know
can I
what?
get a room
I don't
question?
even have a top
All right,
five.
so right
Let's do a
now,
top 5.
My
no,
top
because
five
this
changes.
is real. Because like
Not a
Hip-hop
top 5
has
current
been a-
all
hip-
time.
no, hip hop
Right,
has been
it'll change
around
because I'll
long
hear some
enough.
music versus
Yeah.
someone else.
No, let me just speak on
But yeah,
it.
go ahead, Trey. Yeah.
Hip hop has been long enough, right, to
Mhm.
where we're starting to see like our deities or our rap rap deities or rap gods, you know, I hate saying that, but the rap gods right out here, and like now they're dead and gone, right? And so like when he said lost tapes, I was thinking like, who else has fucking lost
Nas
tapes?
had
like
the
that?
lost tapes.
Nah, not even just that. Bob Dylan, dude. Like now rap has kind of gotten to the point where like I was listening over to another podcast and they were over talking about like this, that the T.I. album was grown ass man rap.
Right.
And it was like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Like it's now like hip hop has gotten to a point where like we're
Did they
seeing
not say that
now
about
what
a 444?
well, we're seeing now what you're doing.
They did.
Right?
They did. Well, they did add that back into it.
But we see now what
hip hop is old now.
What is happening to our dudes now? Like just the fact that you're gonna get a like we all know that Pac has a lot written in the tank. But just the fact that we're at that age now where we're about to start seeing it, and then eventually like our kids will eventually have a whole new Pac album. A whole new Pac album?
Yes.
Just the fact that we lived in the time of Pac, and then eventually it's going to be like, oh, Pac album. Like, just the fact that we lived in Biggie and Tupac's level. And it's like, now those are people that they don't even understand the East Coast, West Coast. They don't even understand when shit was over there.
They don't even need to understand that. Because those songs may not have the same appeal that they had to us, right? Like when the kids listen to, like I was listening to the whole Machiavelli shit, and you know what, the 17-year-old, like he broke down in a tear, like in the back seat when we start listening to the realest shit I ever wrote. You feel what I'm saying?
Because it was.
Yes, and I'm sorry. Born Black in a White Man's World. That was the song. I'm sorry.
And I think
on the way to my mom's house, and like he was like, man, I thought Pac was trash. Like, I listened to all that, and when that one came on, he was like, I ain't gonna lie, a little tear, like a little thug tear come running down your face because what he talking about is so real. But Pac had so many songs like that. Mama's Just a Little Girl, talking about your mother having you. My mother had me when she was 16, so Mama Just a Little Girl means more to me than it may mean to you if your mother had you when she was 25 or 20 and she was established. And like when I listen to that, I'm like, yes, my mama was just a little girl when she had me. So the struggles he's talking about in between that shit hit me in the heart. This is why I talked to you about last week about music actually having more sentimental value to one person than the other, right? Like I could actually put, if we talk top 5 now, I could put Ross in my top 5 now because he's somebody that I relate to. And when he's talking about the stuff that he's talking about, the trap stuff is, I lived that. But when we start talking about just situations, like I relate more to it.
So I definitely understand that point because I was actually about to say that and I agree with that. But I guess my question is, why can't you see that somebody can have a top 5 of other people that they related to and Pac not be the one of those people?
Because Eminem, you can't relate to. He can't be in top 5.
Who said anything about Eminem though? What I'm saying is,
in top 5. I know he is.
Right, but I mean, I'm saying there's other.
But you got miss
Pac isn't in my top 5.
Right.
Pac isn't in my
Are you talking about artists or
You're
rappers?
right, but I'm saying like there's
this podcast is over with. I would like to
but I'm
thank
saying there's a lot more people that also have that same opinion.
I'm never doing another podcast.
And there's reasons why that Pac is not in your top 5, and the reasons why you relate to the other 5 artists that are in your top 5 the same way.
Pac's not
the
my
reason
top
why
5,
he relates to
but
Pac.
I will admit,
everyone's different.
Not too many people can write lyrics like he could have.
Okay, number 1 hip hop icon.
Okay, but the thing about it is,
if you had to put a face on hip hop, number 1 hip hop icon, it wouldn't be Tupac.
But icon has nothing to do with the
I know. I'm changing
right.
it up because I want to switch and get to the last thing. Number 1
the impact,
Number 1 hip hop icon.
Right now or all time?
All time.
Jay.
Jay-Z?
Can I tell you why?
I'm gonna tell you why not, because he said
no. Let him tell you why first. Let him say why.
Can I get 3? Because you already know that I love Jay more than I love Tupac, and you know I love Tupac.
But why is he the?
Nas didn't win that, by the way.
The top of
So,
hip hop?
Because
there has to be an explanation,
man. But like,
there has to be an explanation.
If you're gonna be the king, and you're gonna survive on the throne, right? Which he still came back and dropped an album that said the throne, right? Saying that he was the throne. Okay. Like my dude for real,
bro.
No, like my dude for real.
Yeah.
For me, he is the testament of somebody who came up during the time we came up with. If you listen to old Jay-Z, he had that fast flow, right? Because he didn't know. He was young on the mic, right?
Talked about that.
He was trying to be so much different, right? Then he got a little bit of money, got a little bit of swag, got to be rock-aware, right? And then he became a mogul. Once he became a mogul, he got that confidence. He got that confidence. And you want to know what gets me about Jing? Is that for real? Like, I've watched enough videos to believe the fact that he doesn't write anything down.
He doesn't, but put a face to what I mean by icon is like when I click my fucking desktop.
Yours.
No, I'm just in general.
Yeah.
If you're on your desktop, you're clicking an icon to open up your hip hop app. Who's the hip hop icon?
Jay-Z sitting on the stoop with the Hard Knock Life.
Who would represent that
video?
Because
you're looking at all time, which means this time and last.
I'm gonna go ahead and give my answer right now.
All right, cool.
And I don't even like I like his only one album. I only like one of his albums, but the reason why I say he's an icon because he produced majority of the people that are on my playlist.
Okay.
Who?
Dre.
Yeah.
I don't like him as a rapper.
I can't. Well,
but look how many people he has produced. Look how many people he's made big.
Wasn't
the reason
Pac,
one of them Pac?
Eminem, NWA, Kendrick Lamar.
I just want my 3 minutes.
But think about who's produced more than Dre.
Right. Well, yeah.
No one's made more people like big.
Dre's a billionaire. Like I'm not gonna.
So like, would you say Pac though? Your argument is Pac, and when you talk about hip hop icon, how can you compare Pac to Dre?
The reason why I can actually surpass that is because I'm talking about the imprint that you left on the game. Oh, Jay-Z, ladies love me long time like Tupac Soul. 50. Okay. I want them to love me like they love Pac. Like, bro, like these are some of the icons, and even Dre apologized. No, because even Dre and not saying that they wouldn't do that because he's a dead man, and that's going to transition to our next topic of talking ill about
which had to do with my question. So
he is the rap Jesus. That's why I told him at the gym a long time ago. I was like, nigga, Tupac, the Bible. And
but you gotta be a crazed fan to do all that. No musician would ever be.
I'm not a religious person, but we're not gonna get into that.
But no, I think
that's the reason why I can tell y'all that. And we're talking about icon, fashion, movies, albums.
No, he was all around.
Magazines.
He was all around.
Interviews. Like, I'm not just talking about. See, y'all just talking about money.
But was he the first one to do that?
I'm not talking about money.
Was he the first one to do all of that?
Money has no value in my life.
Was he the first one to do all of that?
I needed to pay bills, but
was he the first one to do all that? Like you saying,
iconic, like.
All right, now let me ask you. Let me ask you this too. Just a question, because he always defended something. I'm like disagree. I'm not even going to disagree. I'm going to ask a question that has to do with the death and kind of like something with what he was saying too. Can you even put Pac on an iconic list if he didn't die?
I think he'd be higher.
Seriously, like if he had to compete right now and be drowned out and all this other type of music and how music has changed, would he still be an icon if he was still trying to come out?
Would Pac drop the 444?
So like when you
444
the whole time.
Yes.
Pac changed himself. You even said
Pac was 444.
No, he was the first one who got like really extra
Dear mama.
on the track.
Who before Pac?
Who
the fuck before Pac did?
I don't say 444 was that.
Brenda's got a baby, my
That's
nigga. 1990. It's 1990. Nobody was rapping about those topics, man.
Bro, 444 is still not that though.
Pert, can I tell you what's
444 was not on that level, so why are we comparing 444 to that?
So episode 1 was called Children of Pac.
Thank you.
And so episode 2, what should we call it this time? More Pac and other stuff.
No.
Like we all know that Pac is rap Jesus, because like to be honest with you, there's so much myth. And it's like now for the young kids, there's a bit of myth that comes with it.
I want to.
We got to witness that.
I can go. You know what, man? Invite the homie next time so we can get into our pod. We can get into our pod back. I know. Because it's gonna come up.
We'll do it on ours.
Okay,
no,
that's fine.
Just do it
I want to do it. I want to do the top 5 thing, man. But I want to transition because we're gonna do the rundown, man, and we're gonna talk about Vic Mensa and his bullshit ass comments. You know about XXXTentacion.
Go ahead, man. Just do it.
I really don't fuck with nothing that the dude do. Like, what you say, Patrick? Who is who?
I don't know who the fuck he is.
Thank you, man. I never heard one of his songs, man.
This is Vic Mensa, right?
Yeah,
okay.
and that's no disrespect. That's no disrespect to Vic Mensa, man. But you know, at the end of the day, how in the fuck are you gonna talk ill about the dead? You know, and what I said earlier in pre-production, the post-production, or whatever the fuck it pre-production. The reason I saved my comment right here was, remember when Flex was talking all that shit about Tupac and all the flack that he got for talking about that nigga? He cheddar by himself and it's because you don't talk ill about the dead. Master P and Pimp C, that situation, you don't talk ill about the dead. Sometimes you just gotta shut the fuck up, man. Say your little corny ass bars for some other time. You know what I mean? Like I'm not in the business of trying to slam anybody while they're dead because it's just not a good look for you. I'm telling you right now, their fans are not gonna think it's a good look. And then you're being disrespectful to the family. You're being disrespectful to his mother, but talking this shit in front of him. Now, what you were talking was real shit. So I'm not going to discredit that. Like, nobody should be out here beating on women. Nobody should be out here, putting themselves in a Ray Rice situation where you're losing out on money because of your attitude, right? I tell my homies all the time. I got a homie who just came home from jail behind some shit like that. I said, bro, why you letting people take you out your happy place? And he looking at me like, you right, big bro, you right, big bro. I'm like, no, but do you understand what I'm saying? It's like I don't let people take me outside of my happy place. Like, I get what you're saying. But I'm not going to sit up here and slander people and throw people up under the mud, especially if I'm on rap songs talking about choking my bitch out. Now, what do you think about that? Can you talk?
Has rap not always been hypocritical, though?
Yeah, but can you talk about
who really lives their life?
Can you talk about the next man? When
no, I'm not. No one's debating that point. What I'm saying
those
is
are the points I want to get to. Okay,
the point that you're talking about, like you rap about this and you do this. But I'm saying, like, at what point, you know, can rappers live what they truly rap about? Can they?
The problem is most of them do now. You look at TK on the race, like he was actually talking about people he killed, people he shot. Like that's the
is that most rap though?
No, I'm telling you, the new wave of the new wave. Like when Jeezy started talking about birds, I guarantee he never saw another bird past what he used to do, allegedly. You know, because I don't want to throw him under the bus. He's OG, but I don't want to throw nobody under the bus of what you used to do. So we talked about past situations and past life, right? Mm-hmm. But we're never going to jump into. I would never be like, you know, in the car with D on I-10, 30 in the trunk. Like, no, nigga, if we were retired and we already were millionaires, then I might dip into the bag a little bit, but I might even put you. I'm not gonna put your name into that mix, right? So this is where I draw.
So is that what you mean by like the new wave?
The new wave, or the
when
new
they like telling on each other, like saying it.
And this is where I'm saying with this guy is like he's basically snitching on himself, saying that he done one thing, but then being critical. That's like me being like, you know, Trey's my fucking shooter. You know, D killed the nigga in Detroit.
So at what extent?
Patty came and picked me up. We threw the body off the river.
What extent?
And then they found the body in the river. We was in Detroit that night. Like they.
So what extent is real rap?
I have a calendar for all that.
Right. Like think about that question. At what extent is it real rap? Like, oh, I'm a real rapper. I rap about real stuff. I rap about life. Okay, well.
Because you could tell a story without you could tell a story without telling on yourself. So when I used to talk about like what I talk about is real. Mm-hmm. Like I never be like I'll pull up on a nigga, shoot 100 niggas on the block. Like no. Like when I rapped about with music, man, I always rap to the influence of, hey, if you test me, if you cross my family, if you go beyond the line is the unwritten line in the sand that I'm going to put out there and project. But I would never I don't glorify anything. Even when I make stupid songs and stupid extra gangster songs, like it's still within the means of like, hey, if you coming at me wrong, then it turns into those situations. Because I've never been the type of person that goes out and try to look or advocate violence because it's stupid. The same thing when it comes down to abuse and talk about slapping women and beating women on record. And then I'm not going to ever disrespect somebody. That's like me going.
Have you evolved though? Like when you first started rapping to now?
I listened to my freestyle tapes from 1998. And
right. So I mean,
I don't know who that nigga was.
Exactly. So I'm saying, where my point is that you wouldn't always. You can't say that your whole entire rap career, you had this mentality right now.
Yes, but
so you actually started off the same way,
some of my
and
stuff
then you
was
have to evolve.
Some of my stuff was deeper back then, and yes, you do change and you do evolve because what I tell people about life and situations with us is like I don't feel like people really change. Like you make adjustments to life, right? So my adjustments to life is like I'm a parent now. Like I have kids. Like I'm at Mardi Gras, somebody walks by, shoulder bump the fuck out of me, and like I turn around like yo, and then I'm like 30 feet away from the strip club. We're going into the strip club. Here I'm gonna end that shit like this. So I'm 30 feet away from the strip club. My initial reaction was, oh, he's drunk, he's wavy. Like he wavy. And I'm drunk, but I'm like, ooh, it's one punch, I drop right. Or I could actually walk 30 feet, go to the strip club, me, my wife, my cousin, his wife, we can go in here, see some naked women, and have a great night and finish the night off, right? I'm like, I decided to do that. In like 15 minutes in the strip club, somebody comes and just throws a wad of money at me, like, I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? Night could have turned out a totally different way if my mentality was this aggressive, the aggressiveness of when I was younger, right? Like I could have been in jail, they've been bonding me out, I could have lost money. But I went into the strip club, I got to see the little bony bitches on the stage and made $50 and dipped out of there and went and bought people drinks on Bourbon Street. Like, those decisions of being more mature, that yes, I recognize that now, but as a grown man and as someone who's older, I just can't respect somebody who sit up there and blatantly disrespect somebody.
So to end it off with another interesting question, when you're looking at how rappers came up and how a lot of people use music and rap to get out of the situation they're in or do whatever, right? Mm-hmm. And so usually when you have that type of determination or that type of vision, you're going to go where the money is. So if you're going to make money to rap about, rap this way or rap that way, then that's what you're going to do. Now, you also got some people who come in that just for the passion of rap to just be the best rapper or to just want their music to be as loved as the other icons of music. So you got people coming in the rap game for two different things. Some people come in just to get the money and go. Some people come in and actually want to contribute good music. Look at your man 6ix9ine. Your man came on there. He's like, I know these rappers are mad because I said this, and I still make da-da-da.
But at what expense?
Then you got a lot of, right, that's what I'm asking you. Like when you're determined to get that money when you came from nothing, who cares about the people who don't like what you got to say or what you're doing? So because you in it for the bread, and as long as people are paying money, you're gonna keep doing what you're doing.
You know what the 6ix9ine situation reminds me of, man, and I'll keep it brief. The 6ix9ine situations remind me of when I used
Tekashi?
Yes, but let me tell you what that reminds me of. Why? No. I don't. We're not going deep. We're not going deep into this shit, man. Because we're gonna wrap the cast up. But I'm gonna let you go on your alien rant, and then we're gonna wrap the cast up because I want you to get on that back. But the thing with 6ix9ine that reminds me of, it reminds me when I was in the trap house, right? And money's flowing, money's good. And this is why money doesn't make me happy anymore. I don't care when people are like, oh, move to Austin. My homies, move to Austin. I'll get you 6 figures. It doesn't make me happy, Trey. And I tell him, nah, man, I'm good. I'm comfortable. Like I make a nice amount of money because for me, it's not about money because I made a lot of money and I wasn't happy. I was depressed. I was the most depressed I've ever been in my life.
Did you feel that way before you made money?
Actually,
no,
man, it's really weird.
No,
exactly. This is where some people are coming from, right from being poor to this. Now you've had money and you're able to look back and say, it didn't move me. But when you're broke and you need that money, it does it for you.
Man, the weirdest thing about you could say that, but other people are still broke, and so like you start doing things,
right?
And then like
you end up doing those things by yourself because everybody can't fucking move with you.
It's not fun. Like
thank you.
Like you don't have fun.
Why would I want to go on a cruise and it's just me?
And it's just you. And it's like I tried to explain that to somebody the other day.
Like let's go to Vegas, and it's just fucking me in Vegas.
And it's like, like we could go do that, but like, are we really gonna go? And especially now with like the kids and everything.
Thank you, man.
Like somebody was ever talking about going down to Disney, and I was like, man, that's 4 tickets plus whoever I want to bring down,
and the bracelets and
and then we gotta eat the whole time, and then somebody has to like stay somewhere.
$7-8 grand.
And I was just like,
You're
And
looking
then,
at
like, when you think about it like that, like, man, I'm from humble beginnings. You
Thank
say
you.
anything over $1,000, I start getting nervous.
Right.
Like, is this really like what we supposed to spend
right
on?
on this, because it can go to many other things, man. And back to my point with the Tekashi shit, why he reminds me of my trap house days, is because you can make so much money and you can live so uncomfortable. That means I can't walk the streets and I couldn't leave my house.
Man, we were nervous.
I couldn't just be a pedestrian anymore, or a civilian. You know what I mean? Like I couldn't, like I was out of that realm. So when you start talking about sleeping comfortable at night and making X amount of, man, I just want to sleep comfortable. I don't care about the money no more. Like money doesn't really move me in the fashion that it'll move everybody else.
Key word, no more. Like I said, there was a point in time.
Everybody got to learn those lessons,
right?
No,
and that's why I'm saying you have to give these young cats that time to learn that lesson. Like they're coming from the hood, and you had your phase where you came from the hood and was like, okay, yeah, I do want to.
They're dying out. They're dropping out here.
You didn't think about that when you first started.
Oh no, I lost friends. I
said you didn't think about that when you first started. You were thinking about your grind, just like that's what these young dudes are now. So I'm saying when they get your age now, shit, I'm pretty sure they'll start looking back saying, yeah, it's not worth it.
So you're saying that Vic Mensa was now, this is his, I'm coming back. I'm a little bit wiser, a little bit older, and this is what I want to spit on.
I'm not okay. So
yes or no?
Yes, playing devil's advocate.
Yeah.
You're right about that, and I'm not. He's actually not wrong about what he picked the wrong.
Yeah, he did say that.
He picked the wrong platform.
Now remember, when I asked you in the before we started shooting, what about as far as his perspective, I guess what his statement was like, if I knew Moms was right there in the crowd, I wouldn't have. How you feel? Go ahead.
Why shit on a dead man to begin with? Like, why would you? It doesn't matter if his mom was in the crowd or not. She's at home watching, right?
Well, yeah.
So would I go on TV and say, you know what, Trayvon Martin, you should have fucking went home that night and not worried about no Skittles? And if I put a Trayvon bar, like if Trayvon was worried about Skittles and niggas would be, come on now. How y'all looking at me right now? If I talk about Tamir Rice and I tell y'all, well, you shouldn't have been playing with the gun in the park. You should have been at home playing PlayStation. You feel me? Like, and I went into.
Got my blood boiling.
You see what I'm saying? Like, thank you, man. Like, because I would never like, it's fun when you troll people alive. It's fun when I troll people on the internet. Yeah. But I guarantee you right now, one of y'all niggas, I'll be at home crying.
But,
you feel me? Like, I'm not gonna be like,
but at the same time, all right, two things, right? Number one, of course, pushing that envelope, crossing that line is going to make more money. So again, if you're after more money, then you're after more money. Now, two, everybody's limit isn't your limit.
Why is everybody
There's somebody, huh?
Why is everybody mad? Because he's doing the Kanye rollout.
I'm not a fan of any.
No, like
I think I see your point,
right?
No, I see your point, and that's why
my man's just gonna say something crazy.
Well, when you only sell
something crazy,
you only sell like 7.
I never talked about
when you drop an album, you only sell 7,000 the first week, and you're a mainstream nigga. Like, fuck Vic Mensa.
Have you ever heard of him before?
Fuck everything he stands for.
I never have.
Remember he said no disrespect to Vic Mensa.
I'm gonna go look him up tomorrow because I don't even know what we're talking about.
You remember 5 minutes ago when he said
that? I'm going back. I'm a Gemini. I get the right to do that.